and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Toronto housing advocate to run for mayor using assumed name. Search for answers continues 1 year after little girl's remains found in Rosedale dumpster. Brampton girl sent to hospital after man crashes car into home. Milton teacher facing additional charges in child luring sex assault investigation. Toronto Maple Leafs host Florida Panthers tonight as second round starts. Tim Hortons parent restaurants brands reports Q1 profit and revenue up from a year ago. Transit riders across most of Ontario can now use debit cards to pay for fares.
These were the headlines, and now let's jump right into the details.
Restaurant Brands International reported a first quarter profit of US $277 million, up from US $270 million a year earlier as its revenue also climbed higher. The parent company of Tim Hortons, which keeps its books in US dollars, says the profit amounted to 61 cents per diluted share for the quarter ended March 31st, up from 59 cents per diluted share in the same quarter last year. Revenue totaled US $1.59 billion, up from US $1.5 billion in the first 3 months of 2022. On an adjusted basis, Restaurant Brands says it's earned 75 cents per diluted share in its latest quarter, up from an adjusted profit of 64 cents per diluted share in the same quarter last year. Analysts on average had expected an adjusted profit of 64 cents per share, according to estimates compiled by financial markets data firm Refinitiv. In addition to Tim Hortons, Restaurants Brands includes Burger King, Popeyes, Louisiana Kitchen, and Firehouse Subs. Toronto housing advocate Grew is running for mayor, and he will do so with a name other than one listed on his legal identification, following an exemption made by election officials. Grew, who does not use a last name, told Awaz News, not yet had the time or resources to start the process of getting his legal name changed to Grew before mayoral nominations close on May 12th. But he says that he has been using the name exclusively for the last 5 years, including in all of his advocacy work at City Hall. The City of Toronto has rules in place regarding how mayoral candidate identifies themselves. The Municipal Elections Act of 1996 says that a candidate's first name may be shortened or modified, or their middle name can replace their first on the nomination paper. As far as single names go, the Vital Statistics Act of 1990 and Change of Name Act RSO 1990 provides some guidance to align with a person's traditional culture, which in some instances might eschew last names. Grew's circumstances don't fall under the purview of either of these stipulations. Grew is not a shortening of his legal name, nor does his choice to go by a single name align with a traditional culture. But he says his community, as well as officials of City Hall, know him as Grew, not his legal name. As something of compromise, Grew will run for mayor as Grew Just Allen. In a statement to Awaz News, a representative from Toronto election said Grew is not running under an assumed name, but has requested that a name they use regularly is included in addition to their legal name. The representative added that there have been other circumstances where a candidate has requested that a name they use regularly be included on a ballot in addition to a legal name. Grew used to be homeless and has been a frequent presence at City Hall in recent years, where he has pushed for investments in housing. He says his 3 top priorities for his mayoral campaign are housing, housing, and housing. But Grew said that his experience with running of the office has convinced him that there should be changes to the city policies around names. Half of the people on my team are part of the queer community, and we have brought up that if any other person on my team were interested in running for a local government, this would be an issue, he said. This is important and it needs to be addressed more fulsomely. Playoff hockey continues in Toronto Tuesday night as the Maple Leafs host the Florida Panthers. The Leafs punched their ticket to the second round on Saturday with an overtime win over the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 6. Tuesday night's 7 p.m. game marks the Leafs' deepest playoff run in almost 2 decades, and fans will be out in full force to show their support. The Leafs tailgate area is being expanded for the second round and will include an additional viewing zone along Bremner Boulevard from York Street to Lower Simcoe Street. Fans need to register for a free mobile pass to be getting into Maple Leaf Square, which are only available on the Toronto Maple Leafs app. However, a quick glance at social media shows their free tickets are hard to come by, and some users are even putting their passes up for sale to meet the demand. Gates to the square open up at 5 p.m. There will be an increased police presence in area of Scotiabank Arena to keep things under control. Tuesday night, Deputy Chief Lauren Polk confirmed. Celebrations following Saturday night's Game 6 win were largely tame, although at least one person was arrested after they slapped a police horse on their headquarters. Due to number of surveillance cameras in the area of Maple Leaf Square, and because officers have body-worn cameras, Polk said police can charge individuals who are behaving badly after the fact. In a statement to Awaz News on Monday, a spokesperson for the Panthers said the decision to limit ticket sales gives local fans first access to the game. After the initial 24 hours has passed, anyone can buy a ticket regardless of their residence, the team confirmed. Tickets on the secondary market are not subject to the policy. It's been exactly 1 year since the remains of a little girl were found in a dumpster outside an under-construction house in Toronto's affluent Rosedale neighborhood, and her identity remains unknown. Since the gruesome discovery outside a home on Dale Avenue, north of Castle Frank Station, investigators have interviewed people in the area and made appeals to the public for information. They have released a description and composite sketch of the child and did genetic genealogy testing to see if her DNA was a match with any children reported missing across North America. But the investigations remain unsolved. At this point, Toronto police aren't saying much and have declined Awaz News requests for an interview and a written update. Now, community members are coming together to try to bring renewed attention to this mysterious case. Daniel Cho of the nearby Rosedale Presbyterian Church, RPC, said this tragedy has left people in the community with feelings of shock, horror, and sadness. Cho was hired as the local church's new minister just 2 weeks before the child's remains were found and officially assumed his new role in July. Said he knew from the day the remains were discovered that he wanted to do something special with his new congregation to honor her. The gathering will be held on Saturday at 2 p.m. at Rosedale Presbyterian Church at 129 Mount Pleasant Road. Cho also said that he is hopeful that the community coming together to mark this solemn time will help renew awareness about the case and hopefully encourage someone who knows something to come forward with new information. A Milton teacher is facing additional charges, including sexual assault in connection with an investigation into child luring. In December 2022, an elementary Catholic teacher was charged with making, possessing, and distributing child pornography. At the time, police said the accused used various personas like Dan Forrest to lure children online. On May 2nd, Halton Regional Police said an additional 28 charges had been laid against the same accused, who they alleged recorded and paid children from around the world performing sexual acts. Investigators also said that in February 2022, the accused met with a 14-year-old girl in Brampton and allegedly sexually assaulted her. The suspect, identified as 44-year-old Justin Zilk of Ancaster, spent time working as a teacher in Oakville at St. Vincent Catholic Elementary School between 2014 and 2016. Prior to that, he worked at a St. Matthew Catholic Elementary School. After 2016, he was a teacher at St. Anthony of Padua Catholic Elementary School in Milton. He has remained in custody since January 2023. Zilk is facing multiple charges in connection with the investigation, including voyeurism, extortion, sexual assault, and obtaining sexual services from a minor. The charges have not been proven in court. man crashed a car into the side of a home in Brampton with a child inside on Monday night. Peel Regional Police said the driver first hit two parked cars before slamming into the side of a house at Edenbrook Hill and Bowen Drives at 11:45 p.m. Inside the home, there was a female child who was taken to a local hospital with not life-threatening injuries, police said. A male passenger in one of the cars was also taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police are still searching for the driver, who they say ran away limping with blood on his face. Officers are describing the male suspect as South Asian, standing 5'5" with black hair, as they continue to search for him.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.